The sweat and the pain of another pre-season is over for Geelong and for Carlton. Now it's down to business. The Cats have horrid memories of their last game of football. For the Blues, well, let's face it, things can only get better. And that man in the middle, I wonder what he's got in store for us this year. Brendan Favola, he had an interesting off-season. Cats fans, I'm sure, want to exercise the demons of last September, losing in devastating fashion to Sydney. The players are going to be no different. Many experts believe the Cats have what it takes to go all the way in 2006, and it all starts here tonight at Telstra Dome for this NAB Cup game between the Blues and the Cats. G'day, Robert Wolf.
Hello, Quarters.
It was a terrible season for both Carlton and Geelong last year at the end, for different reasons.
Well, it was heartbreaking, wasn't it, for Geelong, because they played some very good football. They made the finals again, and they were only about 3 seconds away from possibly playing in the grand final, but that's the way that it went. The good thing about it, genuine hurt. That was obvious. They were genuinely hurt by that loss to Sydney. Carlton, on the other hand, they won the pre-season competition last year, looked pretty good with Favola and Wicknell up forward, and then it fell right away, and towards the second half of the year they really struggled to get a score on the board.
Been an interesting day at the Telstra Dome with a double header. Hawthorn in a thriller knocked off the Tigers, and now it's a change of scenery with the Blues and the Cats jumpers in here now. Funny old day in Melbourne too, absolutely poured for most of the day. Now it's sunny again, would you believe? Telstra Dome looking an absolute picture. And here's an enterprising young man, cheered on the Hawks.
And the Hawks, of course, had a win, and perhaps that's a sign that the Blues will start the year on a good note.
Well, what will happen to the boys from Princes Park this year? Last year, of course, as you said, Robert, they won the pre-season competition, but unfortunately from there, it was all downhill.
What do these Blues have in store for us this year? After a fleeting flirtation with the big time last year, toil and struggle follow.
Carlton lose 11 straight in a season.
Are we to expect more of the same in 2006? Familiar faces have gone. Fresh ones have arrived. It is fresh wind that now blows through Princes Park. Better days will come, but when?
That's the big question. When will the better days come?
Well, I think they're on the right track. Look, Dennis Pagan, the coach, has had his hands tied for the last 3 seasons. They didn't get the early draft picks that they desperately needed. He had to get players who'd come through other clubs, a lot of recycled players, but this is the start. Getting Mark Murphy as the #1 pick in the draft. Now, Murphy could have gone to Brisbane, but under father-son. But he chose to come to Carlton, a real coup for the Blues.
Here's the Blues lineup tonight. The two new names, Murphy, of course, as you just said, the #1 pick, and Hartlett, who was taken pick 25 back in 2004, South Australian boy, and he had a knee injury for most of last year.
What I like about that, Thornton at full-back, Wicknell at centre-half back, DeLuca at centre-half forward can play. Now, they've named O'Halpin at full forward, but Favola will play at full forward for most of this season. Stevens in the centre. Kutafides, the captain, of course, played every game last year.
McLaren on the bench.
Yeah, that's a great pick-up for Carlton. Getting McLaren, he and French can alternate in the ruck, so they're starting to get a spine together, throw in a bit of quality like young Murphy. Jared Waite, very impressed with his season last year. Fisher came back after a knee reconstruction, so they've got the makings of a handy forward line.
And there is young Murphy.
Well,
look at anything like his old man?
No, look, his old man John, of course, was an absolute champion playing for Fitzroy, and he was captain of Fitzroy for many, many years. And Mark Murphy and Luke Blackwell playing his first senior game for the Blues. So there's a bit of young talent in that Carlton lineup, and that's what I like about it, because we haven't seen that for a few years.
Have a look at the screen, Rob, because this is what we're going to see, the shot clock.
Yes, well,
seconds.
that'll come on.
What do you think of that?
I like it. Look, Brendan Favola, Matty Lloyd, they're the two main culprits. They're the ones who take far too long.
He averaged 47 seconds for a shot at goal last year. Lloyd was 44 seconds.
Well, people who come and watch football, they want to see the ball in action. They want to see play. They don't want to see players tucking in jumpers, pulling up socks, throwing some grass in the air. And this will mean that the ball's in action a lot more than it has been in the past. And look, the players will accommodate pretty quickly to it. We've already heard Matty Lloyd say he's made a few adjustments. It's not a problem.
Who do you think the third worst defender was? You had Favola and then Lloyd. Who do you think the third worst defender was?
It wasn't Richo, was it?
No, it's Rory Jones from the Kangaroos.
Okay.
We're going to take a break from Telstra Dome. This is the NAB Cup open-up between the Blues and the Cats. But of that evening in Melbourne now, when we come back, we'll take a closer look at Geelong.
All summer they've been thinking about one thing at Geelong. Bloody Nick Davis. 1 second. 1 play. 1 kick. Unbelievable! The chance of a lifetime, gone. All summer they've trained with that memory driving them. Men on a mission, seeking redemption. The chance to get there again and do it better next time around. That quest begins here and now.
Yes, out come the Cats for the first official hit out for 2006. I really believe, Tim Lane, as I say, good evening, they have a real crack at winning the premiership this year.
I reckon you're right, Quarters. Good to be with you. The bookies are impressed. They've got them favourites to win this pre-season competition, although down at Geelong they're asking themselves what they've done to deserve it. Rob, they've got two complete newcomers in Matthew Spencer from Western Australia and Brent Prismal, who is from Werribee. Spencer's been at the club 3 years, Prismal's in his second.
Yes, Spencer from Western Australia, 21-year-old. It'll be interesting to see how he plays this evening. It's good to see that he's got the opportunity. I agree with you and Quarters. I think they're every chance to be top 4 this year in the season proper, and I also think they would be pretty keen to win any sort of Premiership Cup, and if they can get the NAP Cup, that'll be a great start to the season for them. You have a look at that lineup there. There's a lot of players with a fair bit of experience now, and of course their coach is into his 7th season with this club, so I reckon they're cherry ripe.
Brent Prismal in the foreground. Last year's best and fairest Joel Corey is sitting on the bench for the first bounce.
And it's good evening to Christy Malthouse.
Good evening, Stephen and everyone from ground level at the Telstra Dome, where the roof is protecting us from rain and thunderstorms, but it's not helping too much with the humidity. It's currently 26 degrees and pretty muggy down here, so I would expect to see ice vests and fans and plenty of fluid to help the players get through the game tonight, and boundary riders for that matter. Now, the ground has held up pretty well after this afternoon's match. Not too much damage, so you would expect it to play pretty well tonight. Now, there was a special guest in the Geelong rooms before the game, a former teammate and current New York Jets punter, Ben Graham, who we will have a chat to later, but he is here with a US crew filming this game of Aussie rules, so perhaps we'll ask him later what they think of our game. I can tell you there are 28,000 people here at the moment, you can hear them, who will tell you that this game is great and they are over the moon that footy is back.
So high hopes for Cats fans in season 2006. It all starts now. And the Blues, well, as we said, things can only get better for Carlton. They've got a couple of handy draft picks now, and they'll be blooded tonight. Blake starts in the ruck for Geelong. And we're off and running at Telstra. And there's Eddie Betts. There's Murphy, his first touch. And it'll be a bounce.
And the Cats have started with a bit of experience around the ball. Cameron Mooney is the ruck rover, and Enright in the thick of it with Ling.
Players caught napping there. The ball went straight up. Half of them had their backs turned. Goes inside the 50, but resolute for Geelong is Scarlett.
Halpin is up there for Carlton. It'll be interesting to see how the Irishman goes, but the Cats are away, and Kouliariotis probes into half forward where Gardner was a bit reckless. Didn't infringe, or did he? Yes, he did. So it's Carlton's ball. And it's Lance Whitnell, who was the dominant figure in this competition last season. He and Favola led Carlton to that premiership, which of course they won against West Coast, who lived up to their runner-up form when the real thing started, whereas Carlton's fortunes very rapidly went south.
And Tim, Whitnell and Favola last year, of course, playing forward line roles. Whitnell, I think, will be set for centre-half back this year.
DeLuca bombing into a contest. The powers that be will like that. They want contests. We're going to throw in.
Brendan Favola starting on the interchange bench. Houlihan, who's muscled up and also got himself fit to play in the midfield. And it's time he delivered for Carlton.
And the boundary umps come in 10 metres in this competition to throw it in, which really opens up the play. It's a whistle here. It's a free kick. It's going the Cats' way. And it's going to be taken by Blake. His dad, Rod, played 176 games for the Cats.
Gee, that'll be play on.
It is. He kicked backwards. It is play on. Egan's got it. Wobbles one outside defensive 50. DeLuca couldn't take the mark. Here's Eddie. Eddie Betts handles over the top to Stevens. Takes it to the 50. But it's all Geelong deep in defence, and the mark's taken by Scarlett.
Mooney down on the last line for the Cats, and that's a good delivery to Kelly. So it's in safe hands. That's a little dangerous, and DeLuca has stolen it, and on the stutter of the ball perhaps gained a metre or two to put himself well within reach of the sticks. He's got to keep half an eye on the clock though. Cats just a little complacent there. Kelly centering the ball and an easy steal. It's a clever play. I've often wondered about that. A player could deliberately juggle a ball if he felt confident he had it under control to gain himself an important couple of metres. And Adrian DeLuca gained 2 or 3 there. That clock must be very close to 30. Lets it go from right on the paint and just carries it home. The Blues have the first.
Well, big Adrian DeLuca, he's one of those players, do you play him in the ruck or do you play him as a key forward? And I just have a feeling that the key forward position is more of his go, particularly if Carlton are going to play Whitnell as a key defender.
And how important were those couple of metres he gained, Quarters?
They were in the end. The first goal to the Blues through DeLuca. Down it goes in the middle. Quick kick out of the pack by Betts. Stevens, handball had a little bit too much heat on it, but Lappin mops up. Puts Carlton back inside 50. Attacking it was O'Halpin. And he's taken the mark, the Irishman.
Gee, what I liked about the kick into the forward line, it was in the central corridor. And the big Irishman came leading from full forward. He knew where it was going to go. It was a disciplined kick.
If he's putting all those marks on the ground, he's going to have clock trouble.
He played 1 game last year for Carlton. He had 1 touch and he kicked 1 goal.
Role model Brendan Favola.
So here he is, Santander O'Halpin.
He's got this down to a fine art. He'll kick on 30 exactly.
Kicking from about 54 metres out. It's a good-looking drop and it's home! Blues have got 2! Hey, nothing wrong with that one, Robert.
Oh, it was a beauty, wasn't it? And getting plenty of encouragement. This is what I liked about the Lappin kick. Now, he has really worked hard to square that ball up to the leading O'Halpin. Lappin could have gone wide to the pocket. He chose the central corridor, and good to see Crummers underneath like Cooter.
Oh, even Brendan Favola's excited about that from his vantage point on the bench. 2 juggled marks. 1 took the ball closer to goal, 1 took it away. DeLuca and O'Halpin have both kicked goals for Carlton, who have jumped the Cats. Coulter-Otis pressured off it, and Carlton are right on their game early. The pre-season comp specialists. Call it what you like. There'll be a ball up just alongside of the centre. Barnaby French fisting it clear, but there's a whistle and there's a Geelong free kick.
Yes, 4th umpire picked that up. There was shepherding around the ruck contest. Kelly will take the free.
He turned it over in the fence a while ago, and now he turns it over in the front half. And McGrath has a man in the clear, and it's French in the midst of the ruck contest a little while ago. Good athletic stuff from the former rower. Has to be careful with the kick, and he gives it to Murphy. And the youngster has his first mark of the footy. And he's careful about it. Just a bit strong for weight, but he found Lappin. He had 2 possibilities. They were both good.
So positive start for Carlton. Inside 50 they go again. O'Halpin just out of position, fisted away.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen, Dennis Pagan's coaching, they will go direct into that forward line. You won't see too many leads going towards the boundary line, and they'll be predictable to each other, so that if the ball's not marked, there's every chance for Crummers to take it at ground level.
Blake against DeLuca. Murphy's at the bottom of all that, and we'll have a bounce. No Stephen King tonight. He was selected, but he was one of the players pulled out before the game. Wait, not going anywhere with Mooney and Kelly giving him a bear hug, so another bounce. About 35 out from the Blues goal. Wait, good handball to Murphy, finds some space, has a shot and goals. Blues have got 3.
And the #1 draft pick has kicked his first goal for Carlton.
Well, I told you they'd arrive, Portis. You didn't believe me at the start of the match. They are here. And what a terrific start for Mark Murphy.
I'll tell you what, they are the two most exciting things to happen at Carlton for a while. Jared Waite and Mark Murphy.
Yes, and Jared Waite, terrific season last year. He didn't quite get that in the middle of the boot, didn't matter.
Nice bit of acceleration though, wasn't it?
Yeah, my word.
And nice excitement. Carlton have kicked 3. Slight delay, and now we're away, and the Cats have not got out of the blocks. Blake and French. French wins. Houlihan in hard. Ties it up. Got it out. Bentic helped it on. And the Blues are winning the contested ball at the moment, keeping Geelong under pressure. Ling, though, doesn't mind the pressure. Houlihan, mown down by Chapman, was good. And now Enright, outside range, but cool delivery. And Kingsley will line them up, if he cares to.
Interesting player, Ken Kingsley. A lot of people are critical of him. I'm not, because he's their leading goal kicker again last year.
4th time, Rob.
Yes, he kicked 57 goals. He just consistently gets around about the 3 goals a game, and they're hard to come by. Someone who you can rely upon to do that. You throw in Chapman and Ablett, maybe Ottens. There's enough players there to kick winning scores.
How's his kicking this year? He started on the right note. Cats have their first.
They're 57-40 last year for Kent Kingsley.
Top 10 in the best and fairest, which from full forward for a maligned player is not a bad effort.
Yeah, no, I know that the Geelong coaching staff rate him, because to get someone to kick 50-plus goals a year, you don't just throw them away.
So Mark Thompson a little bit happier. Cats get their first. 3 goals, plays 1 goal.
Dick Stevens moved into the centre bounce area. There he goes.
Beautiful tap to Stevens. Puts it out in front of DeLuca. Can't quite get there. Can he trap it? Shows good acceleration for a big man. Keeps the ball alive. Goes short. Well played, Adrian DeLuca. And he finds his skipper.
And that was the play after that Geelong goal. Kuda, who started in the midfield, pushed forward. And his opponent is Cameron Ling. Ling went with Kuda. That meant Stevens went in for the centre bounce and got the clearance. And it's worked a treat for the Blues.
Anthony Koutafidis, the best and fairest winner last year for Carlton for the 2nd time, has missed. Hunt to do the kicking in with a new number this year.
Yes, and perhaps not as significant a role if this new rule is as impactful as some fear or suspect it will be. That's a good delivery. He finds Bartel. He dabs it on, and Gardner working his way up to the wing. Now Nathan Ablett, and there's a special roar from the crowd. Just the name stands the hair up on the back of the neck of many Cat fans. Milburn, who started on the bench, into the fray now with a sloppy hand pass, and O'Halpin for Carlton. Got the numbers there. Koutafidis did it well, and the Blues are away again. Stevens, well met by Milburn, who helps Geelong win it back. Bartel does so much heavy work. Now Scarlett on one of his runs up the ground. Mooney, too far out for a super goal. Kingsley is there, and he's done it well. Too strong for Thornton.
He did do that well. He had Thornton behind him. He had Barnaby French dropping back in front. It was a good kick by Cam Mooney. It was a terrific kick, and he used his strength and experience. Ken Kingsley, there's the long kick to the hot spot, and you can see Ken Kingsley just pushing back, keeping Thornton away from getting a fist on it, and he deserves to kick his 2nd goal.
So to cut it to 7 points, Cats getting into their stride. Kingsley threads it.
Good mark.
Thornton,
Couldn't have done much more, could he?
No, he couldn't, and there's more of him than there was a couple of years ago, but Kingsley had box seat and he held his ground well. And there we can see Cooter, he's just pushed to the goal square. This is a win-win for Carlton because Cooter, as we know, can take a mark and kick a goal. Also means that Cameron Ling's out of the midfield where he'd prefer to play.
Bartel for Geelong to the 50. It's a beautiful kick. But Gardner couldn't hang on to the spoils. Whitnell did well to get it to Stevens, to Walker, back to Whitnell. Now Lappin, short, and finds Blackwell. His dad also played for Carlton. Wayne, 110 games, taken father-son in 2004. Yet to play a senior game for the Blues. Big pack, Mooney the big fist. Houlihan. And we'll have a throw in.
So middle stages of the quarter, the Cats leading the tackle count 10-1. Probably because they were chasing tail early, but they're certainly starting to have an impact now. Houlihan the steal from Mooney's half kick. Good spoil from Spencer. Bartel doing well at the moment, winning the tackle. Hitting the ball hard, drawing the high tackle from a disappointed Nick Stevens. Chapman to Ling. Just a bit fancy with the kick. Prendergast in the way for the Blues. Enthusiastic battle for Carlton is Ian Prendergast. Ling again missing the target. McGrath gives to Blackwell, who's clear now, can think about it. Fisher caught under it. Scarlett, safe pair of hands.
He's a master of being the third man up, is Matty Scarlett. Judges the ball so very well.
3 marks already to Scarlett. Burns to the wing. Oh, it was cut off.
Great play by Lappin because Whitnell had lost Gardner, his opponent. Gardner ready to take that mark, and Lance Whitnell, he was rescued by his skinny teammate. I say skinny, Carlton have worked really hard over summer to build themselves up. Dennis Pagan making that the priority to get some muscle on the skinny bodies that they've got.
Stevens to half forward. Scarlett again. Too strong for O'Halpin at the moment. Johnson. Long balls from the side. Bartel couldn't take the mark. Under the pump was Hartlett. It spills to Ablett. He's run down by Walker. Play on, still the call. And in the end we have a behind.
And Barnaby French coming off. Dylan McLaren on for his first run for the Blues in the number 10. Tell me a number 10 who wore that jumper with distinction, Tim.
For the Blues?
Yes.
I have to think about it. I'm not great on numbers, Rob. Give us a clue. Give us some initials.
AG.
Yes. Adrian Gallagher, well-known Melbourne publican. This is Adam Hartlett, who injured himself in the pre-season last year and missed most of it, played a bit of VFL, and now gets his chance in the big time. Fisher, who's also had injury problems of late, does well here, but he misses any available targets. Milburn to Bartel to Mooney. Umpire called a free kick and then waved it on, and Kingsley has the set, and he can line up for number 3.
A great kick by Mooney, and I'm sure we'll be able to get a look at that soon. It was just a super kick by Cam Mooney. Realised that Ken Kingsley was behind, and he really put some oomph into the kick. It had to clear Lappin and Whitnell, which it did. It couldn't hang in the air for too long. Perfect kick, and Ken Kingsley a chance to kick 3 1/4.
He's a little interested in giving it off. Some furtive peeps. Don't know why he didn't want to have the shot. He's kicked 3. Good quick delivery from Cameron Mooney.
You're right though, the eyes were wandering, weren't they?
His confidence is up. but he doesn't know it.
Well, there's a cat that's gone on to even bigger and better things. Ben Graham will be speaking to him at half-time.
I want you to ask him, does he pull up after a game of gridiron sorer than AFL? But the answer's no.
Wouldn't have thought so. Whitnell at half-back. Oh, it was an ambitious handball. Taken by Milburn. Gets it to Kelly from 50. It's a long ball. It's a free kick for a hold.
And was it in the centre, in the goal square?
Yes, it was, and he will go from point-blank range directly in front. Let's have a look here. Well, Kingsley's kicked the goal. He's got 4. So let's have a look. He had his back to the play. It's Hartlett.
Who's the offender? There's a hand right in Adam Hartlett's face.
See, that's a 50-50.
I agree. And I think Ken Kingsley can consider himself very fortunate in that one. And Brendan Favola coming on for his first run.
What do you think of the new hairdo, Rob?
Oh, much better than last year.
For what reason?
Yeah, he can see, that's why.
Cats in front after Carlton kicked the first 3 goals. This has been a pretty impressive burst from Geelong. Nick Stevens levers it out. Koutafidis, master of the clearance.
That's outside 50.
DeLuca just made the distance from just inside a while ago. This might be beyond him. Good grab. O'Halpin didn't quite hang on.
He looks a likely type, O'Halpin, athletic. He's had a couple of years in the system now to learn the game. Pretty good effort there by little Chapman to get a spoil on that.
So an attacking position for Carlton. DeLuca, first hand on the ball. Fisher, handy around goal. Murphy, can he kick his second? No, he can't. He was well smothered. And Kelly works it away. For Prismal, Koutafidis taking it over. Throw in.
So DeLuca up against Blake.
And at ground level, Ling going step for step with Kuta.
And the free kick's going against Blake. DeLuca, the recipient, to the 50. And that's an excellent mark taken by Brad Fisher.
Good player, this kid.
He is. Taken pick 72 back in 2002.
He's a good player. And that's why I think if they can get Favola, Fisher, Waite, and maybe O'Halpin or DeLuca, they're going to get a reasonable forward setup going.
And that's an ordinary kick. O'Halpin keeps it alive. Good strong body by Johnson, disposed of Betts. Now Scarlett under the hammer. He's gang tackled and will have a bounce. 6 disposals for Nick Stevens for Carlton. For Geelong, 6 to Mooney and 6 to Bartel. Blake goes up, couldn't control it. Carazzo. Across the face and through for a point.
Cats by 5. Hunt moves it on quickly. Milburn, having to use his non-preferred side, plays it safe.
Kuta and Ling, both 4 disposals each.
So 3 on the trot to the Blues, answered by 4 of the same from the Cats. Blake rucking here against DeLuca. There's a bit of dad in Mark Blake. Milburn climbs in, but Lappin takes to Carazzo. And low down for Vola. Can have his first go at them. He's marked it inside 50. He'd have to kick it from outside. Now here's our first test, Fev and the shot clock.
Well, obviously he's aware he's got to get back quicker. So he's done that. That gives him a chance to settle down. Smart thinking.
Matthew James gives him some riding instructions. It'll only be a 6-pointer if he kicks it. He could do it. Has the kicking power. He's put it many rows back, but unfortunately well wide of the behind post. Just thinking with Blake in the ruck, Rod, obviously King's their number one ruckman. What's their ideal ruck setup this season? Who would you have as the second stringer?
Brad Otten's. Brad Otten's playing 60% of the time up forward, 40% in the ruck. King doing the bulk of it. Blake is the third bit of support, which you'll need in a long year. I really think that Otten's is the key to this Geelong team. Now, is that Johnson or Chapman?
That's a very good question. I'll give that one to Johnson, I think. They two look very similar, don't they, with the bald scone?
Both very similar around the scone area.
And not much happening here. Bartel, in the end, it was hacked off the ground by, I think it was Mooney. To half forward for Geelong. McGrath gets there first. Little underground handball was good. He receives again. Now he wants to switch, but in the end decides to go up the middle, and it is a beautiful kick too. Great pass by McGrath to Fisher. Coming on his Rook, and he cuts off Nick Stevens' lead and looks away for Geelong. There's Chapman. Got Corey in support. Into the pocket. He finds Lonigan. Lonigan short. Play on, not 15, says the umpire. Comes back to Lonigan. He still doesn't want to have a shot at goal. He squares it up again. And it's come off to Kent Kingsley. And he is lining up for goal number 5.
Well, Lonigan certainly didn't want to have a shot for goal.
Second time round he should have.
Yes, but the short pass came off, and is this man running hot? Looks like you get 5 goals in the first quarter of football this year.
What a start for Kent Kingsley.
And do you make the move? Do you get Thornton off him and put Whitnell back there? I think perhaps Dennis Pagan has to.
For goal number 5. Tell you what, these pre-season footy records, Tim, don't cater for big bags, do they? They don't. Here's a replay. Lonigan, not the 15 metres, so it was play on. And he probably should have had a shot there, but decided to square it up. And, well, in the end, he was proven correct because Kingsley went back and kicked the easy goal. Well, he tormented Brett Thornton early. Now it's Adam Hartlett playing his first game at senior level for Carlton. Kingsley's had a 5-goal opening quarter. I think it's 3 on Thornton and 2 on Hartlett. That'll shut the critics up for the first couple of weeks of the season at least. The Wolves are often at Kent Kingsley's door. Here's Walker. Number 2 draft pick a couple of years ago, forced wide. Geelong lead by 11 points with just half a minute left in this opening term. Promising start for the Blues, but things a bit grim at the moment. Geelong 5 unanswered goals. McLaren's on for Carlton, the former Lion. There for all 3 premierships, but the only grand final he played in was the one they lost. Burns puts Geelong into attack. Another one, surely not. Kingsley, go for it. He does, and free kick. It's coming back.
And 50 metres against Kent Kingsley, I believe. For abusing the umpire. And he's gone right to the middle of the ground and still talking to the umpire.
He doesn't want to get another 50. The 5-goal quarter might be quickly erased in his coach's mind if he gives one away in the last 16 seconds. It's the Cats by 11 points. Long ball inside Carlton's 50. Oh, it's a terrific mark. Taken by Egan. What's happening here is coming back to Scarlett. And that is quarter time here in this NAB Cup first round match between Geelong and Carlton. The Blues, an early break, but the Cats have fought back thanks to Kent Kingsley, who has 5 first quarter goals. In 2006, before the game is back. And guess what? So is Strawny.
The Footy Show, live and kicking. Sports World with Breeze McAvaney. Well, Australia loves it when Bruce McAvaney says, "That's spectacular." Yeah, no, this one. Yeah, it's definitely headlamp. It's a headlamp. Ready, steady, cook. Australia's brainiest kid. Nah. No, what is it?
Can the Sydney Swans go?
Very entertaining first quarter here at Telstra Dome in this NAB Cup first round match. Carlton out of the blocks with the first 3 goals. Geelong answered back with the next 5, all courtesy of one man, Kent Kingsley.
He was red hot, wasn't he? At full forward, kicked accurately, led well, was strong in a couple of marking contests, one-on-one, and Cam Mooney set him up with a couple of beautiful passes, one short, one long. And Carlton looked lively up forward too with DeLuca and O'Halpin, and of course Cooter in the last 10 minutes of that first term.
So Mark Thompson in his 7th season now with Geelong as coach. Gee, that's flown, hasn't it?
It's gone quickly, and look, Geelong have done a wonderful job as a football club over the last 5 or 6 years when you consider the financial state they're in. They've got a wonderful grandstand down there, membership's up, and we spoke earlier about a team where around about a dozen of their players are coming into their absolute prime. There's Tony Elshaw, assistant coach with the Blues, talking. Looks like he's talking to the backline players there. McGrath and Whitnell, Lappin and Kenny Hinkley, who's been great support to Mark Thompson over the last few seasons. Started his career with Fitzroy, did Ken Hinkley, and then of course went to Geelong and was a star there.
Terrific player, wasn't he? Beautiful skills down in the back half. It was a slightly different game then. Came from Camperdown, and he's still involved.
Couldn't settle in the city. I was coaching Fitzroy at the time, and he really found it hard to come from the country to a city like that, and then he went back to Geelong, and the rest is history.
Barnaby French leading the Carlton rucking division. Bit of support for him with DeLuca.
A big ask for Mooney to do the centre bounce ruck work.
French beats him, but he doesn't find a target. There's no takeaway. The laws of the game committee and the administrators of the game keen to try and reduce to a minimum the number of stoppages, particularly around the ground ball up. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Here's Kelly and the Cats make an easy takeaway. Charlie Gardner marking it just inside the 50. Will have a go for a 6-pointer. Lovely kick, and it's home. Beautifully done. And the Cats kick to a 17-point lead. Measured that off very nicely.
He knew what he was doing, didn't he? Kent Kingsley led from the goal square to open it up. Brett Thornton back on Kingsley. And there's the nice little chip pass. Any pass that's marked inside the forward 50 is a valuable kick. And that's because the player who marks it can go back and unload, as we saw there. And they're certainly accurate with their goal kicking tonight. Geelong, 6 goals, 1. And there's Thornton back on Ken Kingsley, who's kicked 5 goals in that first term.
And his monopoly has been broken.
It's the Catters by 17. French, the bounce favoured him. He got it to Koutafidis. It'll tap back to French. Tenace. Big tackle on him by Waite.
And again, Mooney will have to do the ruck work against French. French will beat him in the ruck contest, but it's around the ground that Mooney will beat French because Mooney's far more agile. Mooney had 6 disposals in that first quarter.
Tell you what, there's been some busy tattooists over summer. Lots of players have come back to the new season with tattoos, particularly on the, you notice on the lower part of the arm, the forearm, and I saw one on Heath Scotland there. So plenty of ink being flowing during the off-season. Here's Ablett, runs to the 50, just pushed as he kicked, and they'll have a throw in.
Geelong, Kingsley saying that was deliberate. Nathan Ablett, the target, and McGrath, his opponent, able to get it out of play.
They are going to be tougher on the deliberate out, but that would have been, it would have taken an unforgiving umpire to go Adam Hartland for that.
It's a free kick here, and it's going to Barnaby French.
Becoming quite a senior at Carlton is French, one of the leaders there. He delivers nicely to Simpson. Kept under pressure, but getting it off, and Carlton control it. They had a free kick if they wanted it, but they keep going. Houlihan knows how to use the ball and did it well. To O'Halpin.
See if he's got the confidence to have a shot. You bet the clock's ticking, young man.
He's got problems here. If he's going to make those marks on the ground again, he might find himself called to play on. Well, he was at about this range in the first quarter, and Gold, but the angle here. is much more challenging. The eyes zoning in on only one thing. Setanta O'Halpin. Got the carry, but missing on the near side. The Blues trail by 16 points.
Milburn to do the kicking in. And finds Johnson. Back to Milburn. Now he goes up the middle. It's a good kick too. Egan squares it up to Gardner. He wastes no time. He looks for Kingsley almost. Chapman loves a snap goal into the goal square. Front posse was Hartland, and he's got the free kick, has he? Yes, he has. Adam Hartlett. Short into the back pocket. There's the #1 draft pick, Murphy. Again, kick, got that flash off the boot, just floated. And subsequently it was marked by Ablett, who goes to the brother. Gary to Nathan, and that is a beautiful kick to Kelly. Did it laconically, did he? But it was a magnificent pass. And Kelly should go from here.
And Mark Murphy will realise that if you make a skill error in AFL, the consequences are great, because it was Nathan Ablett who chased Murphy. Murphy's poor kick rebounded.
And that is a very bad miss from James Kelly. He should have nailed it from there.
Slightly careless looking kick from Kelly, a sitter, and he just didn't give it the required concentration. Lappin to Thornton. Has McGrath running wide for him as the Blues work it out of defence, taking it very wide. So a throw in out on the wing, but it will come in from the wing. Quite an effective measure, this one, to bring the ball well into play, although somehow or other it just looks out of kilter with the way the game has always been played.
It does open it up though, doesn't it?
It does. Stevens dispossessed. Ling, great workhorse. Tenace working it forward for Geelong. Gardner leading Whitnell.
Yeah, he's been good, Garbutt. He's been in front on Whitnell on half a dozen occasions.
Good intelligent use again from Gardner. And Kelly from maybe beyond range. So he goes to Nathan Ablett.
Gee, they did that well, Geelong. Once that mark was taken on the 50-metre line, about 4 Geelong players went to the goal square. They formed a cluster and they just grouped together with their Carlton opponents, and then they just broke into space. Now that's a set play. That's something they would have practiced over summer, and it gives everybody a kick when it comes off.
How often have we said it? Ablett lines them up and misses. Cats by 18 points. And looking to have the measure of the Blues at the moment after a wobbly start.
Well, this is Lappin with the second kick in a row. And as we can see, he's taking his time. The ball's not coming in rapidly. Geelong have set up a zone defence. Carlton take the easy option, short to the back pocket.
And Houlihan shorts it to Scotland. Back to Houlihan. Long ball to the wing. And it's marked there by Fisher. Long kick. Geelong get numbers back. Scarlett. Mooney. Now the ball ends up in the arms of Kelly. And Gardner has been busy.
Yeah, well, again, Lance Whitnell caught 30 metres away from him, and Lance just has to tighten up because Gardner's led him a merry dance in this first half.
4 marks, 5 disposals for Gardner. They've broken down inside their forward 50, the Cats, as Fisher takes the mark out wide to Houlihan. Comes back inside and into the middle. And DeLuca spilt the beans. So a few errors creeping into this game.
Ling gang tackled. Houlihan Has it again. 2-on-1 Geelong's way here. Tough on Waite. Hunt. Coulter-Otis. Rook to Nace. Had time to atone for his mistake. And Enright giving it back to Hunt. Sloppy stuff from the Cats. Might just be doing it a little too easily for their own good at the moment. Prismal, who missed a target completely a moment ago. Whitnell works it clear, gives Big French a chance. Running for him is Stevens. Could be dangerous, but runs into a Rook tackle, and it was a good stiff one. Johnson couldn't get his kick clear. French. Cats have got numbers. No frills, but no mistake from Ling. To David Johnson, back to Ling. And that's a nice pass. Weighted it well for Mooney. Clever Gardner gives it back to him. Geelong just a little bit fancy at the moment. This is Chapman. Out of the Houlihan tackle. Mooney. Oh, gee, this is laborious. And it's only getting worse. Milburn, mown down. Ablett lurking for him. Milburn stuck over the ball, will be a baller.
7 forward 50 entries this quarter to Geelong, just one to Carlton.
Whitnell attacked it nicely to McGrath. Quick kick to Houlihan, sweeps it out wide to Lappin. And his kick's good, it finds O'Halpin.
Nobody in their forward 50 to Blues.
50, pushed after it, the mark. That's the new rule. And correct call from the umpire.
Time now for Waite, Stevens, DeLuca to push back there in the goal square, grouping up, trying to get a break.
So Halpin about 60 out. Good kick. It was a beautiful kick, and he found Waite.
Well, it was you called it quarters. It was a good kick. It's the sort of kick that a forward loves because it comes in hard and low. And we saw Jared Waite with just his immediate opponent to beat. Gee, every day looks more like his dad, Vinny. And that was a super kick. Hard, flat, and big hands, this kid. And he would have loved to see that ball come his way.
So Jared Waite kicked 36 goals, 23 last season.
Second highest goal kicker for the Blues.
Yep.
Behind Brendan Favola. And he's the future.
You know what I liked about O'Halpin's kick? I didn't like much about Waite's, incidentally, but these days almost everybody kicks the ball with the same action, but the Irishman has his own method. It's not classical, but it seems to work. Here's Egan for Geelong. Carlton defence well positioned. Lappin coming in from the side, floating and taking it.
I think it might be a free kick to Lance Whitnell. Gardner holding his jumper in that marking contest.
Penalised the side to bring the ball back, but the umpire may have felt compelled to. Now there's a free kick Carlton's way here with Waite.
He's got bigger,
out.
Jared Waite. He's got bigger. He'll get bigger again over the next couple of summers, but he's coming along extremely well.
Adam Bentic for Carlton. That's a good ball. Good long ball. Stevens, no Halpin at the second bite.
He's learned a bit about the game, hasn't he? Took the mark, held it up, and then immediately pushed back infield to open up the goals.
It's all his skills will be put to the test here, Tim.
He's also learned too that when you take a mark on a tight angle, you try and crib as many degrees as you can, but the umpire was onto him.
I wonder if Dennis Pagan's taught him the banana kick yet.
Well, we'll soon see. We've got a smart Irishman here.
Careful.
Now, let's watch the action. He's going out onto the left. Yes, well, that's not great.
It's not great, but he had the confidence to do it. And I like that. He's got plenty of pluck about him.
Of course, he's not from Gaelic football. He's from the other big Indigenous Irish sport of hurling, which makes his achievement all the more phenomenal. That's a lovely kick from Blake to Corey.
And his kick goes to the wing where it finds Brent Prismal, 19-year-old. He goes short to Jimmy Bartell. His kick finds Milburn. So a nice build up here by the Cats. Inside 50 looks for Kingsley. And he's being surrounded by Blues, not surprisingly, after kicking 5 first quarter goals.
Brendan Favola back on for Carlton in the first and second quarter. Started on the interchange bench.
Otis. And it's put it out of bounds on the full. So free kick to the Blues.
And that fella there with the white shirt, he's the ball boy. As soon as the behind goes through, the ball's kicked through for a behind, he grabs the bag by his side and hurls it to one of the players who's ready to do the kicking in. Carlton averaging, 16 seconds a kick in. So they're taking their time. Geelong 12 seconds.
French the tap. Plucked out of the pack by Scotland to Lappin. To Bentic. Now can the Blues build here? Couple of side steps by Bentic. Penetrating kick into the goal square. It's a free kick going Geelong's way. It's going to be taken by Johnson.
And Johnson's going to get it to his twin brother.
His brother plays for Essendon.
So you've had to go at Irishmen, now you're having to go at people
With bald heads.
And I don't like that one bit. Now Burns for Geelong. Gee, this second quarter has been a lacklustre affair after an exciting start. Gardner went early. That must be a free to Whitnell. And it is Lance parking his ample frame in front.
33 minutes since the Blues have kicked a goal.
Stevens, runner-up for the best and fairest in his 2 years at Carlton. Scotland sweeping it to Lappin. That's a beautiful delivery.
And it's straight down the middle of the ground
for a niner.
And they did that particularly well. Lance Whitnell contributing in the last 5 minutes, just holding his ground against Gardner. Gardner beating him in the early stages of this game, but Whitnell holding up at centre half back, and a very good lead.
And NAB will donate $1,000 to the junior club of each player who kicks a super goal. Brendan Favola's junior club, Beaconsfield. They're holding their breath out Beaky way. A groan is the result.
Another sausage sizzle at Beaconsfield this week. That was a quick kick in as the Cats bring it up to the wing.
Gee, that was a throw, wasn't it?
Umpire said it was a handball. A push, now advantage paid as Lappin goes to the 50. Here's a chance for Favola. He can run as far as he wants to, and he stabs it through for a point. Shaved the post. Favola claiming it was a goal.
Well, the goal umpire would normally tap the post, wouldn't he, if it hit the post? But it could only have hit the back of the post. But we'll take his word for it. He had a perfect view. Here's Burns for Geelong. Houlihan chasing hard. Burns did all right. Whitnell. Not quite as quick as Burns.
No one is.
Houlihan. Lappin. Carlton free kick. Matthew James, the umpire there.
There's the kick. Did it hit the goalpost?
Touched the flag.
Hit the flag.
Gee, that's a bit stiff.
Favola wanted to argue the point.
Houlihan and Fisher is on the end of it. Good mark. He is uncanny in the air, Brad Fisher. Just seems to have those arms a little longer than most. McGrath.
They're working down that middle corridor, the Blues.
And there, well, Fed's having a mixed time of it at the moment. Scarlett to Corey. Favola meeting him hard on the kick. Good kick it was. And it lands for Gardner, who's been an effective target for Geelong at half forward. And Corey, who started this move, is just beyond range.
He's run 100 metres to take that mark, Joel Corey.
Best and fairest last season, has emerged as a real class midfielder, but that's a poor kick. And Lance Whitnell saw it coming.
Favola without an opponent.
And Koutafidis kicks to him, but just getting there in the nick of time is Otis.
Good defensive spoil, and Favola in the end needed to come and meet the ball a couple of metres. He would have taken the mark. He let the ball come onto him, enabled the spoil to take effect.
McLaren on for Carlton, the former Brisbane Lion.
Blues attack their 50. O'Halpin. Good work by Milburn. Now Burns on the wing. He's got pace aplenty. On to the left. Dealt with after he kicked, and it's downfield. Nothing too nasty about that, but nevertheless he was pushed after he kicked. So Lonergan kicks to the hot spot. He almost takes a screamer. We'll have a bounce. 15 out from the Cats' goal. He got up very high to Cam Mooney.
Did everything right,
yeah,
except hold it.
Lappin.
Well, Carlton have got the numbers back here, but as soon as they get it forward, it's all Geelong. That's why they're fiddling with it. They know if they go long, they're in trouble. So they'll just try to play short, keep possession, and wait for players to run downfield, Kuda being one of them.
Adrian DeLuca came to Carlton from Port Melbourne, told to play on here, I think, or was he? Certainly Spencer on the mark seemed to think so, and he's got himself 50 metres. So he was a little premature, perhaps anticipating a call. First gamer for Geelong is Matthew Spencer, young Western Australian, and his involvement there is a costly one for the Cats. DeLuca kicked Carlton's first goal. First of a volley of 3. Goes for O'Halpin, who kicked the second.
Had to be
Was he pushed?
Yep.
He was.
He's causing a few headaches up there, isn't he?
Well, he's tall, he's got a great leap, and he's got courage. That's what I like about him. Haven't seen a lot of Satanta O'Halpin, but just on this performance alone, you'd have to be impressed. And it just means that Dennis Pagan can keep Whitnell as a centre-half back, with Thornton as a full-back, and look up forward to have players like Waite, Favola, and this young fellow with the footy. He's been lively.
Touch of promise, excitement and unpredictability up forward for the Blues. Having another go at them with that hoofing action of his, and that is not a bad result, just across the face.
Hoofing action.
Something like that. Changing the subject, the Blues still goalless for the quarter. It's the Cats by 14 points.
Hunt finds Ling. Over to Scarlett. And he goes in the middle to Corey. Back to Ling. Over the top to Lonergan. Another stat for Ling.
They're going to play around with it, the Cats, because Carlton have just got so many numbers back, real flat in the Carlton defence.
Scarlett pumps it long. It's all Carlton though, and Whitnell should take the mark and does. A few Blues peel off here. One of them's DeLuca. Oh, he's dropped the mark. He has time to butter up. Got it over to Bentic, to Lappin. Good tackle by Corey. Well played Chapman, to Hunt, to Mooney. Gets past Murphy. To the true centre-half forward position. Burns. Nice pick up by Enright. Into the pocket. Good kick.
Great kick.
Perfectly weighted, and Bartell's got it in the pocket. Wants to give it off and does to Mooney. No, umpire said blown time on.
First bit of anger in the eyes of Cam Mooney for the year there, I think, as he was denied his chance.
He's had 11 disposals, Cam Mooney. Had a very good first half. Played mainly as a ruckman.
So Lonergan, the boy from Assumption College, back in 2002, was taken at pick number 23. Played the 4 games for the Cats so far in the real stuff.
Has been a horribly unproductive quarter. Geelong kicked an early goal, and since then neither team has been able to kick one, largely because neither has been good enough to get it to the extremity of the ground and slot it between the big posts. And there's only half a minute left.
Lappin, disposal number 15 for Vola. Missed the handball. Beautifully done. Walker to Murphy, the two young guns combined, and that's a great mark.
Did that well, Carlton, from the defensive 50. Really worked hard again to get it in that central corridor, which they did. And
Dylan McLaren's the man, Rob.
Well, Dylan McLaren, former Brisbane Lion player.
Taken the number 1 pick with the pre-season draft.
And he's got his own personal ruck coach in Gary Dempsey. And what a good one he is.
So McLaren makes an impact in his first game with a goal. And it's an 8-point ball game at half-time. Geelong 6-3-39. Carlton 4-7-31. In 2006, Saturday night will again be the night in AFL football.
The beauty of it is, though, is that they want me long term.
Yeah, tonight, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we might just sort of make it, generic, yeah. But you'll be playing with New York again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully for the next...
Shuffle university.
Right, mate.
They're reading something 7 years or something? Or is it?
That's what they offered, too. Which is nice to know that they want me.
Cats by 8 points over the Blues at half-time in this round 1 NAB Cup match. My great pleasure now to welcome a former Cat who's back here. He's just got an entourage now. Ben Graham, who's now playing NFL football with the New York Jets.
Thanks,
What's the entourage? Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, firstly, we've got a TV crew from New York over there filming a bit of a documentary about my life in Australia so that I can show the people back in New York what the AFL and what I've had to go through for the last 12 years has been all about.
You look very happy.
Mate, look, I am very happy, the family's very happy, and that's the very reason why, you know, I feel like I do right now is because they've fitted in so well. Katie and the kids have been awesome going to school and doing what they've got to do, but the game itself, you know, I had to learn pretty quickly, and, you know, the opportunity I was given by the Jets and the coaches at New York have been, you know, overwhelmed really with how quickly I've picked up on the sport. So it's been great to come back for a month.
Is it weird coming back and seeing the old guys? You miss it at all?
Well, I don't. I mean, I love watching the game. I'll always believe that the AFL is the best game in the world. The NFL to me is a new challenge. So I don't miss playing here because I know I'm playing in another sport that's going to take me through the next period of my life. So, you know, I've learned a lot both from another professional sport, but from the business side of sport, the administration side, and living in another country, learning about...
You picked a fair town.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't pick it. But, you know, it's New York is, you know, it's a great place. Like, we don't actually live right in Manhattan, which is nice. The facility's about half an hour out, but we do spend some time in there and get around.
Describe your life as an NFL footballer. Is it better, worse? What you expected?
It's unbelievable. It's just really quiet. It really is. When you go to work, you have to be accountable for your job at all time. But when you go home, there's no distractions. There's no, you know, you have to go to functions all the time. The fans have got no access. It's just a really private life. And, you know, the guys that are on a lot of money that are out there all the time obviously get hounded and that sort of stuff. But it's been great for us because we can just, you know, go home, mind our own business and enjoy life probably more than we have in the last few years.
Now, I've been reading you've signed, you haven't re-signed, you're waiting for the collective bargaining area. What's happening? Are you staying as a New York Jet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they look. It's flattering to know that they offered a 7-year deal.
They offered you a 7-year deal, didn't they?
Well, yeah. Well, it's going to take a long time to nut a deal like that out. So we just wanted to come home for a month. So we signed a 1-year deal, in effect, just to get me home, but with an agreement to renegotiate in April. So hopefully, you know, come the season, you know, it'll be a 3 or 4 year deal. Just
quickly, you're a scout over here. Who would you pick? Two AFL players as kickers to take them back. Who would you pick?
Well, I'm not just looking at kickers, Quarters. Cam Mooney's showing a bit out there tonight. He's got a bit of size for a tight end position. Cookie's told me hands off Josh Hunt, but I know he can throw the ball. And Kent Kingsley, you know.
He's going all right for a change in front of goal.
What do you mean for a change?
Well, he's a bit inaccurate at times.
He's worked very hard on it. So
mate, you look happy. Well done, congratulations, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Ben Graham, the former Cat, now a New York Jet. We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment.
Righto. Okay. We're just going to show that. Yeah.
What was it, mate? Which I was walking around.
Right. So we might do those later. Okay. Yeah, they're coming back to us with just showing that Favola poster where it seemed to hit the flag.
Didn't see.
So we'll have a look at it as it goes through.
Okay.
So I'll just ask you about it.
You mate.
Flag's part of the post, so.
Tucked it in. It's all good. Perfect.
Geelong lead Carlton by 8 points at half-time. Carlton within a whisker of being 5 points closer. Brendan Favola seemed to hit the flag. Would have been a good shot if he was a golfer, not so good as a footballer. Well, we've got experimental rules. We've got new rules which are going the whole journey this year. And we've got an opportunity to talk to the AFL's Director of Umpiring, Jeff Geeshan. Jeff, good to have you with us to resolve that contentious one, but it hit the flag. I guess the goal umpire was right.
Yeah, the goal umpire's right, because basically the flag is a part of the post, and we encourage the umpires to make sure the flags are up tight against the post. In that occasion there, the ball hit the flag and the post at the same time, so the goal umpire got it right.
Without going through all the new rules, chapter and verse, broadly, what are the game's administrators and the Laws Committee trying to achieve this year?
I think quite clearly, Tim, we're looking for a continuous game of football. I think what we've seen over the last few years is a lot of stop-start football. We've seen the ball being chipped out of fullback to players who have held it up then for another 7 or 8 seconds, then it's chipped along again, and the game has lost a little bit of its continuity and flow. And we've even seen forwards taking over a minute to shoot on goal, and I think clearly the Laws of the Game Committee and the administrators are saying we want a continuous flowing game of football. So I think that's been evident in what we've seen so far. I think the other thing is a protection of the ball player. I mean, the whole game's about, you know, the player getting in after the ball and him being protected, and quite clearly we want to protect the ball player as well.
We're getting lots of stoppages, more than we want ideally. Last night we had a situation with the clock now expected to stop when the umpire crosses his arms. At Carrara, we had a ball up. It's in the last minute of the game, scores a level, so it could have been important. And I think we see the umpire cross his arms.
Yes.
The clock should have stopped, but it kept going.
Yeah, and look, Tim, that's going to happen. I mean, in a game like AFL football, where we've got human beings controlling the game and human beings playing the game, there's always going to be the odd mistake. And on that occasion, obviously a mistake, because we want the timekeepers to stop the clock every time the field umpire crosses his arm for a bounce.
On the matter of stoppages, they are up astronomically. You've done some figures which go through grand finals from 1961 to 97. Stoppages from 1970 to 1997 are up 172%. Free kicks are down 66%. Do you see a connection there? Do you think there should be, if there were more free kicks given, you'd reduce the number of stoppages?
Well, the way it is, Tim, you can only pay free kicks that are there. If the free kick's there, obviously we want the umpire to pay that free kick. But
aren't they being interpreted differently from the way they were 20 years ago?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. If you look back at TV replays from 30, 40 years ago, there was free kicks happening, a lot. I mean, we saw the 1970 grand final. I think there was 93 free kicks paid. In other games, we've had as many as 150 free kicks paid in a game. Now, there's got to be a balance there. I think what happens is players adapt. In this day and age, the players know that if they give away free kicks, not only letting their team down, but their coach and everybody else. So we find the players adapt very quickly to any new rule that comes in, and for that reason, the free kicks are down a bit.
They've got a bit of adapting to do this year. Jeff, thanks for joining us. Good luck for the season.
Thanks, Tim.
Jeff Geeshan, the AFL's Director of Umpiring. We are at the Geelong-Carlton match in the NAB Cup, and at halfway, the Cats lead the Blues by 8 points.
You win, it's your show. So what's it gonna be? 'Cause
Cats and the Blues both back on the ground. It's half-time in this NAB Cup round one match. Geelong 39, Carlton 31. The winner, by the way, earns a trip to Cairns next weekend where they'll play the Kangaroos. You'll see that game on 10. Now, some news for the fans for both the Blues and the Cats. Carlton's membership number, their premiership years. Dial 1300 72 79 81. Three of their premiership years anyway. 72 79 81 for your Blues membership in 2006. Unfortunately, though, the Blues Family Day has been cancelled tomorrow because of the inclement weather, so don't make your way out to Princes Park tomorrow. Geelong, there's their number, 0352 447 447. So memberships are the lifeblood of all the AFL clubs. Make sure you buy one in season 2006.
And Quarters, a terrific interview with Ben Graham, and he's enjoying life, isn't he?
Is he what? He is really enjoying life. Very, very happy, and his family's really settled in, and what a life. Been offered a 7-year contract.
Yeah, well, look,
amazing.
Spoke to him just before, and he was saying that after a game of gridiron, you wake up the next day, the body feels fantastic. AFL, well, it really takes you 3 or 4 days to get over it. It just means that his career as a sportsman is prolonged.
Well, he can play till he's 45.
As Darren Bennett did.
He would be the best paid Australian footballer. Harry Kewell would be that. How would he rate among those who don't play soccer?
He'd be probably over $1 million a year now with a new deal for sure, Australian, I'd say. So, yeah, Harry's a bit ahead of that. He's about 15 a year.
Big league.
So we start this third quarter. It's the Cats 8 points in front. Houlihan. And there's Blake, Ablett, Enright within range. He sprays the kick. He was off balance when he put boot to ball, but it sneaked home for 1 point. But the Cats by 9.
Cats are kicking to the Kent Kingsley end of Telstra Dome in this third quarter. Kicked 5 at that end in the first. Stevens getting it off to Bentick. Carlton getting back within touch with that late goal in the second term. This is Murphy, a prize draft recruit. Carlton hope he will be the future. The start of the revival. Favola caught under that in an uncomfortable position. Ablett, Scala. Speaking of uncomfortable positions, Ablett goes back to it. Good smother by O'Halpin, gives Fisher a chance, but he's wide. The margin is 8 points.
Favola starting this third quarter at full forward. DeLuca on the bench, and also French on the bench.
You happy he stayed at Blue, Robert, Brendan Favola?
I wouldn't have minded had he gone, but now that he's stayed, I hope he does well, and I hope he's there for 3 or 4 years to help the Blues up the ladder.
Walker puts them inside 50, but again, deep in Carlton's forward line. It's all Cats, and Hunt takes the mark. It's a 50
against Betts, yep. Sudden death these days.
Yeah. They don't muck around, do they?
It was fair enough too. You could see it in his eyes. He was wanting to hold things up.
Oh, it's a poor kick by Hunt. A turnover, a bad turnover. Simpson puts it out in front of Favola. Snapping at his heels is Spencer. Favola, nice kick into the goal square, but Scarlett takes mark number 5. Quite a few rusty old players out there tonight, isn't there?
It was a rusty old second quarter. Geelong kicked their only goal 33 seconds into the quarter, and there wasn't another goal until the last minute. Nathan Ablett was the target there. And who was the meat in that sandwich? He's been well minced. And the unfortunate was Kane Tenace. Ooh. Stuffing knocked out of him.
And that is a good call by the umpire, who was about 50 metres away from it. Blocking was going on in that ruck contest. The umpire who threw the ball up missed it, and that's one of the attributes in having 4 field umpires.
Koutafidis has a ping and just misses. Somehow I think he would have nailed that in his very best years. He used to really miss, in fact, in his best years. He's kicked a couple of behinds. been somewhat subdued in this opening NAB Cup match. Geelong by 7, Scarlett to bring it back. Certainly not hurrying it back this time.
Cooter in his 15th season for the Blues. Blake to Ling. Good hard tackle by Murphy, forces the spillage.
That's a good sign, isn't it? Mark Murphy hitting in hard. You can see Cameron Ling caught one in the face.
Yeah, got a bit of claret there, I think.
The intent was hard by young Murphy, and that's the way it should be.
Completely fair. There he is again. Stripped of the ball by Ablett. Dumped unceremoniously into the turf at the same time. Scotland usually uses the ball well.
That is a bad kick. That is a selfish kick. All he's thinking about is getting a 9-pointer. And it just puts it into the hands of the Cats.
Hunt's kick's good, finds Tenace, who dishes to Kelly. Oh, gee, hasn't there been some turnovers?
As you said there, Rusty.
Stevens, that's a good kick. And he finds Fisher. Fisher from right on 50. Not going to make the distance. Ball still alive. Eddie Betts now triples over.
Blues playing Matthew Lappin in defence in this third quarter. He was their leading possession getter in the first half with 15. Playing mainly as a midfielder come forward.
Nicely done in ruck by McLaren, but Kelly's got it. Some of his finishing hasn't been as good as it might normally be. Scarlett, Ling, Bartel and the Cats are away. Gary Ablett taking it wide. He's after Gardner. Whitnell playing him closer this time. Hems him in well. Beats him. Gardner fights on. Good contest.
Yeah, he did well, Lance Whitnell. Didn't rush at Gardner, so Gardner could sidestep him. He corralled him and made him make the play, and that's a good result for the Blues.
Ablett again. Gary Ablett, that is. Steal by Bentic. Turnover City at Telstra Dome. Koutafidis, Walker getting a bit of it in this third term. Just blazing. Favola and Scarlett. Bounce important. Favola read it nicely. Scarlett, what a wonderful defender he is. Very rarely beaten in a one-on-one.
Very much a Bruce Dool type player. As you say, Tim, rarely beaten in a one-on-one contest. Carlton have had 7 forward 50 entries to Geelong's 1 in this third quarter.
Johnson, good tackle by Betts. Or was it? No, I said he got pushed in the back. So David Johnson, younger brother of Essendon's Mark. Another turnover.
Yeah, Geelong coach Mark Thompson will be disappointed with the skill errors.
Inside, 50 go the Blues yet again. Hunt strong, sees it over the line.
It's a poor kick. It's a long kick into the Carlton forward line, but it's not to the advantage side of Fisher. It's a one-on-one contest there. The Carlton player kicked it to the advantage side of Hunt, the Geelong player. Little things that make a big difference.
Blake beats McLaren this time, but still in a handy position for the Blues. Enright in the way. Scarlett. The conventional haircut that he's opened the season with. He finds Spencer, the Western Australian, playing his first game in the seniors. Gives to Enright. Blazing to Gardner. Awkward for him low down. The half volley. Gives Whitnell a chance to come at him now. And just hold it up for Hartlett to arrive. Stevens, not a couple of South Australians. Stephen, a Victorian who went south. Strobes well for Simpson. Perfect weight on the kick. Simpson under pressure. And the kick disappointing.
Super kick by Nick Stevens. And you can see a bit of roughing up going there. Simpson just couldn't get on his preferred left side. Ended up kicking on the left side, but not balanced.
Up goes Favola. Puts boot to ball into the pocket. And another throw in. So the Cats by 7 points. Kent Kingsley, 5 goals, all in the first quarter, but not much has happened for either side since then. Carlton, the first 3 goals of the match. Out of the blocks. Eddie Betts has kicked a point.
Blues are getting there with minors. 4-10 to 6-4. Just a goal in it. Hunt with that deadly delivery. Spencer. Nathan Ablett. Not sure what happened to him there. It was right onto his chest. Here's Enright. Sold it beautifully. Can do some damage here. Kingsley's there. Thornton with him. No mark. Kingsley claiming it. Justin Schmidt not going with him. Gary Ablett did well. Cats are a chance. Kelly beat 1, 2, 3. Ablett gets his goal. And it was just one effort after the other. We see Gary Ablett dishes the handball out. They keep the ball alive, Geelong. Dodge, twist, weave, back to Ablett, and he's able to finish it off.
Eight disposals and 1 goal for Gary Ablett.
Again, Mooney doing the ruck work and did it well.
Chapman puts Geelong forward again. Here's some more Ablett magic. Bartel finds him.
Yeah, they combine well. The medium-sized Geelong forwards.
He shanked the kick. That's a mark to Lappin.
Just off the one step, not balanced.
Simpson to Thornton. Now Stevens. This is disposal number 15 as he fires his skipper. Anthony Koutafidis, now 33 years of age.
Gee, Walker's come from the wing.
He has the big fly. Is it a mark? He's been given a free kick, I think. He has.
He had the perfect sit, did Andrew Walker. He came from the wing. He ran hard. There's no doubt that Kouta saw him. Kouta had the vision to see him. He was unopposed. And it was good to see the little fella had a fly at it. He didn't take the mark, give him the free kick.
Is it a free kick?
Well, the interpretation, of course, is that if you're coming front on, if your eyes aren't on the ball, any contact becomes an infringement.
It was a really good kick by Koutafidis because he saw that he was free coming from the opposite wing.
So Walker is rewarded. No, he's not. Just the point. A bad miss from there.
I think he only took 3 or 4 steps in the lead up to that kick, and geez, that's just unacceptable for a bloke who's been in the system now for a few years.
Prismal, good delivery, Burns. Cats can hurt on the counter-attack. Little nudge from Kelly, no free. Whitnell sees it to safety. So Walker was lucky to get it behind with that kick. Might well have bounced back into play. Geelong by 11 points.
Would you like to see that rule, Tim, where the ball bounces back into play in the season proper?
I wouldn't, Rob, because you get a worse result for a kick that misses by a whisker than you do for a shocker that just wobbles on the right side of the behind post. And somehow that just seems unfair to me.
I agree. Imagine a grand final, scores a level. Player takes a mark, siren goes, he's 20 metres out, has a shot for goal that hits the goal post and bounces back into play.
Yeah,
that's good. It means we get a replay. We can come back next week.
That's true. It's a 20-metre target, and there are 2 black spots in it if that rule does come into effect permanently. Here's Barnaby French. Blues are still there. They've kicked 4-11, and they're within 11 points. Lappin, who's been good, been one of their best.
NAB Cup games have been pretty close over the weekend, and that's good. Good for fans, good for the interest.
Tell you what I'd like to see is no draws
in the season proper.
And have a 50-metre shootout.
Here goes Thornton.
Good luck getting that one through.
All you've got to do is just bring it in, don't tell the players or the coaches.
Adam Hartlett for the Blues. Now Lappin. Just a dab. Well done, Egan, to make the spoil and then to mop it up and set it up for Burns.
Actually,
it's coming back. Carlton free kick.
Well, that's interesting because one umpire deemed that as acceptable and another umpire deemed it as unacceptable in that the hit was a bit late. I thought it was okay. I don't think a free kick should have been paid. And obviously there are differing opinions from the umpires.
Thornton keeps coming. Lobs it long. Favola had to go the spoil. Battles on. Wait. Favola. Good pressure from the Geelong defence. Now, was that deliberate? No, it wasn't. Throw in. State of high dudgeon there.
Big chance here for Carlton. Back of the Packers French. Nice tap to Favola. Can't get boot to ball. Kick out of the pack.
DeLuca's got to go again.
I'm not sure if it was Johnson or Chapman. I'll go for Johnson. Mark's taken by DeLuca. Pumps it long. Oh, it's all Cats here. Couldn't take the mark though. Spills to the goal square. Oh, Stevens went without it.
Three-pointer, is it?
No. He just tried to scoop that in with one arm, did Nick Stevens. And missed.
So the margin 10 points. I thought that might have been, it was Houlihan apparently who got his boot onto it. I was wondering whether the Cat defence had taken it through. That's Johnson for Rook. And Carazzo who wins, but just couldn't keep it alive.
What do you think about the boundary umpire coming in the 10 metres?
Just get a look at that again.
Yeah,
and
it should have been a three-pointer.
It should have been a three-pointer.
Yep.
French and Mooney. Prendergast, we'll get back to your question on notice, Rob, as Bartel blazes for the Cats, but straight to Lapham, who's Carlton's leading possession winner with 18. Here's French, brushing them aside. Wait, a little left footer, but the order just a bit tall. Milburn, sturdy defender for the Cats, goes backwards. It wouldn't have been a mark anyway. Scarlett with support from Coulter-Otis. And Geelong get off the hook, but they are playing untidy footy at the moment. And Carlton have got a sniff. There'll be a ball up. What was that question again, Rob?
The boundary umpire coming in 10 metres to throw the ball back into play. That's an unusual one. That's Cameron Ling has gone to full forward, and maybe the reason for that is to take Andrew Walker out of the action.
French doing well on the ruck. Got it to Koutafidis, to Carazzo, to the 50. That's a free kick surely to Stevens. Brought down with a ball. Oh! And Simpson cops a very high tackle. What's the umpire going to do here? That's a 50. Well, that's fair enough. So Carlton are going to score an easy goal out of this. So there's the free kick, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Then Simpson grabbed the footy, and that's pretty crude from Bartel.
So is this a 9-pointer for Stevens, who is taking the free? He it was who won the first free kick, and then the fact that there was a secondary transgression brings him forward 50 metres, I would think. Well, that's a 9-pointer.
It is.
The margin is 1 point.
Good pick up, Tim. I thought we might have had to have got the Geesh back in.
So there was the free to Stevens, and there's the second offence. And quite correctly, the umpires awarded the 50. It was a 9-point kick, and Stevens slots it through.
It's been an interesting third quarter. Only 1 point between the two teams, and inside 50s, 12-4 in Carlton's favour in this third quarter. So they've controlled the game over the last 20 minutes.
$1,000 courtesy of NAB to St Mary's in the VMFL. Nick Stevens Junior Club as Carlton close to within a point. And the wobbly Cats need to get their act together. They almost seem to do it too easily for their own good as they overcame an early 3-goal deficit. and then broke to a handy lead. They've got it in their 50, but Heath Scotland has it covered. And Carlton are running with some confidence at the moment. Bentic takes it too wide. Geelong's ball. Mooney. Enright. Scarcely went the journey, but it did for Johnson to Hunt. Might have been tempted to load up there with his kicking power. Just too far out. Lonigan, impossible angle. Did it beautifully. Can he finish? Oh, that was handy. Tom Lonigan, you star.
Well, he sold the dummy to Lance Whitnell, and you would have thought that Lance would have been ready for that. We saw Whitnell do it so well against Gardner early in the quarter. He goes to put it on the angle. Lance buys it. Lonigan doubles back and puts through a much-needed goal for Geelong.
So Tom Lonigan, a boy from Assumption College, which has nurtured such talent as Shane Crawford, Simon O'Donnell,
Francis Burke, Laurie Serafini, Renato Serafini, Crackers Keenan.
It's the Cats by 7 into the middle. Gardner couldn't trap it. Scotland did to Carazzo. Not sure where to go. Now Steady's on the left. No mark to Johnson. Here's a chance for Favola. Around the body. It's a good looking kick. That's got to go. And he's coming straight off.
Well, it's a good answer by the Blues. And he's on the phone to the coach. Again, they tried to square the ball into the corridor, the Blues. Ball hits the deck, it's a 50-50. Picked up by Favola. Bounce helps him, and good finish.
Favola's first goal of the match doesn't save him from a spell, but these days, no one is sacred. Carlton back within a kick. In fact, back within a point. Bartell, little handoff. Hunt couldn't go anywhere. Houlihan, Stevens. Blackwell.
Did it well.
Did it well, very well. Not much on the end of it, Scarlett. He is the best fullback in the game. 7 marks, the defender's defender. Enright. Cats have got a game on their hands now. Those pre-season cup feelings are starting to flow back for the Blues. Prismal gives it off to Nace. Bombs it. Gardner just not able to hang on. Carlton seem to have numbers at the drop of the ball. Milburn lays the shepherd for Ling. Bartell. Good kick. Excellent kick. Burns too far out to score. But a chance to set something up. He goes for Ling, and he's got it. And he can line them up.
Yeah, bad marking by the Blues. He's off. He was off. He was definitely off.
He was stepped off his mark.
He did, and the Carlton crowd letting the umpire know.
I think Lingy's discovered Dermot Brereton's hairdresser during the summer. Cats lead by a point. By 2 points.
A bit early to be getting stressed, isn't it?
When you're only betting Carlton by 2 points, maybe it's not. Blues the wooden spooners last year.
This is Thornton. A couple of options short. One of them's Carazzo, who played all 22 games last year.
O'Halpin presents.
Garlett, the back of the pack. To Enright, into the middle, but only as far as French. Have you seen his game, Robert?
I think he's been pretty steady. I think that's going to be a real plus for Carlton, having French and Dylan McLaren sharing the ruck work.
Fortunate kick finds Burns. He's got plenty of pace.
Premiership teams in recent years have had the two ruckmen sharing the work. Certainly Brisbane, Port Adelaide, Sydney last year. You've got to have it.
Gee, that's a dodgy handball. I think it was from Whitnell. He makes amends though. There's Carlton out of danger. Lapham switches. And he finds Carrazzo. Oh, it's an ambitious kick. It's come off in the end. Whitnell. Handball partially smothered by Bartel. Now Houlihan. Good kick. Finds McGrath and he's off. To half forward. But good use of the body there by Rook. Just nudged his opponent O'Halpin at the right moment and took the mark.
And Burns does well to hang on to that at the second bite. Into the last 70 seconds, and that will give Geelong a scoring chance.
Second one against Betts.
Shannon Burns wasting no time. He's going to load up and blaze away. And miss. Geelong by 3 points. The winner of this match meets the Kangaroos in Cairns next Saturday night. We'll be there for that.
Thornton. Short to O'Halpin.
Good to see O'Halpin get the ball kicked to him there. He's presented well as a forward. They've ignored him a fair bit. And a lot depends on your standing in the game. They won't ignore this fella, the captain. But O'Halpin will realise you've just got to keep on presenting, and the better you play, the more times your teammates will kick it to you. They just build their confidence in you.
21 disposals to Stevens.
Good play by the big fella there to bend down and pick that up.
French to Lappin. To Blackwell. Now it ends up back in the arms of Lappin. Pops one over the top. Simpson bowled over in the back, says the umpire. Advantage paid. And that is a bad miss by Carrazzo. A golden opportunity. And that is three-quarter time in this NAB Cup round one match. And it's Geelong 54, leading Carlton 52. The main goal kicker in the match is Ken Kingsley. He's got 5. All of those in the first quarter.
He got 5 in the first quarter, and in this third term, he did not touch the footy. He was taken from the field just before three-quarter time.
So, three-quarter time, Cats by 2. And don't forget, the other end of the season, September, you'll find all the finals on Channel 10.
Three-quarter time, Cats lead the Blues by 2 points. The winner earns the right to go on next week in the quarterfinals of the NAB Cup and take on the Kangaroos up at Cairns. Kingsley's got 5. Stevens has got a super goal for the Blues. Gee, Rob, it's hard to pick a winner, isn't it? You'd think Carlton might have a bit more gas than the Cats at this time of the year left in the tank.
Well, you would think that Carlton's preparation would have started a few weeks earlier than Geelong's. Geelong, of course, playing a couple of weeks of finals football last year. Just need to get a forward to take a couple of marks and kick some goals. Goals have been pretty scarce since quarter time.
The Cats are resting Matthew Scarlett at the start of the last quarter, which will grant Carlton a bit of latitude in their front 50. And they're going in that direction right now. Bentic to Scotland. Plenty up. Blues a chance. Houlihan. Betts. Fisher. Betts again. Rook went down hard, was tripped. Geelong's ball, having to defend staunchly there. Bartell. This is Blake. Just a handful of games under his belt last year. Big leap from Lappin. McGrath. And he has men in good posse. And one of them is Cade Simpson. Burns is coming at him, and he's quick, he's closing. Simpson did it coolly and well. Not quite Fisher. Rook, Blues pressing. Houlihan, Halpin, can he hoof this one home, Woolsey? No, you're right.
No, he tried to get it angled on the boot. He knew what he was doing. The brain worked, but the body didn't execute well enough. There's Matty Lappin, third man up, flying in that defensive 50.
Oh, the kick has been chopped off by Halpin.
He shows something. He does show something.
He's a contest, that's for sure.
He's courageous. Like, he will run with the flight of the football and is prepared to take whatever comes his way. So that's a great start.
Give it the hoof. He's gone the short option, and it's a good pass too.
I told you he was a smart Irishman. He just pulled the kick. It was a little chip kick over the man on the mark.
Fisher is the man with the football. This to put the Blue Baggers in front. Remembering, if you're off to the Carlton Family Day tomorrow, it has been cancelled, unfortunately, at Princess Park because of today's weather. Fisher comes in. This to put Carlton in front. And he does just that.
Just good to see two young Carlton forwards feature in that goal. Courageous mark by O'Halpin, clever little chip kick, and an accurate shot from a tight angle from Brad Fisher.
Let's go down to Christy Mulhouse. A couple of games on the Telstra Dome today. How's the surface holding up, Christy?
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, it might look okay from your angle and on the TV screens, but it is actually quite patchy, and a couple of the Geelong players had to change their boots in that three-quarter time break because of that. Also, the humidity is affecting the players a little bit. bit, but they are trying to rotate quite a lot off the bench. Carlton 34 times compared to Geelong 44, so it may come down to who has the legs in this last term.
Scarlett on the bench. Burns missing a sitter. Should have regained the lead for the Cats. Carlton lead by 3 points. This is Scotland. And the defending pre-season champions are still alive. Gary Ablett. Oh, he is a rare talent. Chapman now. Will it curl too much? Yes, it does. He's still alive. Scotland. And he has outriders. Carlton do it coolly in defence. Thornton. Fisher, who kicked the goal to put them in front.
Great body work.
Done well here in the other half of the ground. Nick Stevens, been good for them in midfield. Houlihan.
Work hard, Tim, to bring it into that central corridor. Certainly a ploy they're using, the Blues.
He's after Favola. He's got him, but the runner lays a perfect shepherd to set things up for Favola. Good trap by Big DeLuca. Bentic, hemmed in. Can Fisher get there for the aerial? Can't do much. Kelly, Ling, and the Cats are out of trouble, at least for the moment.
Mark taken by Egan. Goes to Johnson. Ling. Bartel to the wing. Couple of Cats here. Enright couldn't take the mark, but has time to butter up. Pops it over the top to Burns. He's missed a couple of relatively easy opportunities to goal. Late in the third quarter and one early in this last quarter. Now he loads up, hits it to the hot spot. Milburn got in the back of Lappin, and that's a free kick. Good call by the umpire.
Give it up. Smart play by Lappin to body back into the contact, take the hit.
Now Whitnell, who's been at half-back all night, started centre-half forward through the pre-season comp last year. They're helping up the ground. Carlton working hard for each other. Stevens, one of their best. Houlihan getting better. 2 against him. Enright wins it for the Cats, but the hand pass is sloppy. Does it stay in? It does. And Lincoln break for Geelong. Then delivered to Joel Corey. Hasn't had a great impact. Get the feeling the Cats are playing themselves into the season, even though the bookies had them favourites for this comp. Nathan Ablett, the target, couldn't hang on to the below chest mark.
And that is the Carlton runner who gets in the way of everyone there. Nathan Ablett has spilled several marks, diving marks this evening. His touch will come to him, I'm sure.
Stevens. It's Corey, best and fairest winner for the Cats last year. Ablett. Soccer by McGrath was dangerous, and that's the way the umpire saw it as well. So it's a free kick going to Bartel. 60 out from goal. Kingsley provides a lead. Bartel goes, well, a half torpy. It's a good effort, and in the end it's a rush behind.
Is it a three-pointer, or it's only
just the one?
Gee, Lappin quick to bring it in.
Is that 50? Yes, it is, against Kingsley. So he must have thought at quarter time, I'm in for a monster night, Kingsley, but it's certainly dried up for him since the first term when he booted 5 goals.
In fact, if it wasn't for that quarter, it would be an absolutely forgettable night. Burns, who's doing a lot for the Cats. Betts, another quick one against him. Blues dangerous. Simpson, Fev. Free kick to the Cats, out on the full. The margin is 2 points. I fancy scoreboard telling us Geelong 8-8, 56. So it's Carlton by 2 points in the last 12 minutes in another NAB Cup special on a Saturday night. Ling bombing it. Egan, what a fine pair of hands. And quick thinking to get it off to Enright. And the Cats have numbers here. Gardner. Running out of defence, Bartel. Fine workhorse. Good delivery for Kelly. Now Kingsley won't add to his 5, or will he? He might, he does! The Cats are back in front. Kingsley has 6.
That's a super goal because he did it off one step, and to have the balance to be able to, and the strength to be able to kick that ball 35 or 40 metres. We'll have a look at it here. Lappin misses the spoil attempt. Ken Kingsley dummies, props, and kicks so accurately that it's a wonderful goal.
Dennis Pagan's made a change in the ruck. French off, McLaren comes on. Cats in front by 4 points. Kingsley's got 6 goals. An advantage paid here in Carlton's favour. Walker to the 50. DeLuca. Ball spills to Egan. To Johnson. And he kicks towards Enright, who controls the football. Short to Burns. He's been called to play on. And he's good enough to get out of a sticky situation, but again, his kicking has let him down. So, a turnover.
Yeah, Mooney on.
Yep, Blake off.
Yeah.
So he's been told to play on Whitnell. And he kicks in McLaren's direction, front and centre, roving nicely with Simpson, puts it inside Carlton, attacking 50. That's a free kick for a push.
Pushed off the ball. Players have been told this. Coaches, media commentators, supporters, everyone's been told that if you make that early contact, eyes aren't on the football, you will be penalised. Brendan Favola is rewarded for going at the football.
So Favola's got 1. This to put Carlton back in front.
See Scarlett talking to the umpire explaining the situation. You can see the contact made there.
Well, we gave him no opportunity to contest the mark, did he really? So it's fair enough.
It's a hand in the back for a start. It's a free kick for sure.
I'll tell you what, the 30-second thing's interesting. The umpires really need the shot clock. It's very hard to judge otherwise.
Some debate about the umpiring decision. Certainly the shot from behind indicated the push was there. Favola's free kick, he kicked the goal. Took a bit over 30 seconds, I reckon, to kick the ball, but apparently players have been told that once they start coming in to take their kick, the umpires consider, Stephen's in trouble here.
Nick Stevens, 24 disposals, equal highs for Carlton tonight with Lappin.
Here's Burns, doesn't kick this time, gives to Mooney. Just a bit much hook on it. And Kingsley not able to snare that.
It's a free kick.
Oh, it's a free kick to Geelong. And not only that, the umpire,
he will take it in front.
The umpire hit the deck when he gave the decision.
It will be interesting to have a look at that and see whether it did actually happen in the goal square. Kingsley has given the shot from directly in front. He kicks his 7th. He puts the Cats back in front. There's been controversy at either end of the ground as the lead has changed twice in a minute.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I reckon it was outside.
Oh, that's not even a free kick. They're both holding each other.
Square.
That's not a free kick.
And I think it was, if it was outside the goal square.
Got to let him play. That's ridiculous.
The trouble is, too, with this interpretation of giving the player who takes a mark in the goal or is infringed in the goal square a shot from in front, it'll lead to the use of the third umpire because it could become highly contentious.
Well, it's a body contact game. I mean, that's just... Anyway, it's gone now. Cats. Go forward. The mark's taken by Chapman. Geelong by 4.
Stevens has just run off the ground, still favouring a leg, but it doesn't look too serious.
Inside 50, there's a whistle on play here. It's another free kick. This time it's going Carlton's way.
Yeah, Whitnell will take it. Whitnell yelling at his teammates to fan out.
He goes short to McLaren. Taken with Carlton's #1 pick in the pre-season draft. There's Nick Stevens. Mark taken by Prendergast. It's the handball to Lappin. Fisher's in front, can't take the mark. Back of the pack was Kaluriotis. Back to the wing, and not quite for Joel Curry. As we'll have a throw in. Smack bang on centre wing. 31,297 here tonight. There's the Stevens injury. It looked like a kick in the shin.
Yes.
And they smart.
Cats gain meters and gain the break. This is Chapman from just outside 50. Doesn't go for it. Kingsley, who's kicked 7. Can he work a little miracle here? Now that will count as a mark, even though he kicked backwards, because he was in the attacking 50. Gardner kicking from outside.
Oh, that's good play, Kent Kingsley. It was Kingsley in the forward pocket who kicked it backwards to Gardner. He then just kept running and running, and a bit of space was opened up, and Gardner was able to chip it into his path. Kent Kingsley dead set in front, lining up his 8th goal for the night.
5 in the first quarter, and he's lining up for his 3rd in the last. Saw him kick 7 here one night against Essendon a couple of years ago. Good start to the season for him. And that's another lovely kick. Kingsley has 8. The Cats by 10.
A bit more composure when they go forward to catch. The experience of players like Chapman, Ken Kingsley. Gardner's been impressive, even though Lance Whitnell's had a fair bit of the ball himself. I like the way that Gardner has led into the football. He's presented well as a key forward.
Gee, he's kicked beautifully tonight, hasn't he? Geelong has a 10-point buffer. Kent Kingsley, 8 goals straight. Koutafidis. Handball over to Murphy. Prendergast gets it to Houlihan, who bombs it inside 50. Back of the pack is O'Halpin. Bounce favoured Scarlett. Through a bit of traffic. Didn't panic, did it nicely. Now Hunt goes bang with that big left boot to half forward. Gardner couldn't take the mark. Here's a chance for Melbourne. Gets it to Ablett. Thought about the kick. Decided to handball. Back to Melbourne. And he has kicked the goal.
Gary Ablett, great hands. Just terrific awareness of what's around him, draws players towards him. There's Milburn to Ablett, draws the player, whips the handball out to Milburn. Milburn finishes off. Gary Ablett, you're a star.
As if to say, boy, we've done it the hard way. Darren Milburn, an unlikely provider of the goal that might just have broken Carlton, but Gary Ablett playing a big part in it.
Just terrific awareness of what's around him. Gary Ablett uses his hands so super quick and effective.
He has inherited the football gene. This is Prismal. Wide but effective for Gardner. Whitnell trying to corral him, can't. Good delivery, Gardner, but well read by Scotland. Houlihan McGrath. The Blues break wide. Mark Murphy, a name we no doubt will hear a lot more of. Barely the 15, Koutafidis. First-year player gives it to the veteran, whose first game this year in the real competition will be his 250th. There's another free kick in front of goal. Again, Matthew Scarlett seems to be the offender, and Brad Fisher will line them up. In fact, it might have been Hunt from behind Scarlett, who is adjudged to have transgressed, and yet it looks as though it was merely Fisher's leap.
You've got to be able to have, it's a physical game, and you've got to have contests.
Yes,
and they're taking, soon you won't be able to have a contest.
Yep, and that's what we want, and that's what we lack in the game is contests. No one wants to see players mark unopposed as they do 98% of the time.
Fisher threads it through. The margin is back to 10 points.
You've got to be able to lay some flesh on your opponent if they're going for the mark. I mean, soon you won't be able to touch them at all. I mean, it's just too much.
I agree.
Too much. We're going to look at this free kick again, guys. What do you think? I mean, this is not a free kick. I mean, they've got to be able to create a contest.
That isn't a free kick. Now, if they say to us, if Jeff Geeshan and his panel say that was a free kick, well, I might as well give the game away. He was flying for the ball.
It's the same as the Kingsley one down there.
He missed the ball. He flew through the air, and it may have looked like he was pushed, but he wasn't, and it's a bad decision.
Did he jump or was he pushed? He jumped.
We need contests. We need players 2 against 2, 3 against 3. And unfortunately, we're seeing less and less of that in the game. We're seeing players take unopposed marks left, right and centre. It's more like keepings off.
It's the Cats by 10. Less than 5 to go. Kelly to Ling, who loads up from 50. It's a thumping kick. It's home.
Cats would seem to be on their way to a second round encounter with the Kangaroos in Cairns next Saturday night. Scotland bombs Carlton into the 50. Fisher bringing it down, roved by Coulter-Otis to Bartel. Milburn, nice little bring down with the palm to Burns. Chapman, Corey, charge of the Light Brigade in his direction. Ablett and Milburn, well done by Milburn. Just couldn't get the purchase on the kick. And the Blues have it covered. Jared Waite in the last line. Cats kicked 5 goals in the first quarter. They only managed 3 in the next 2 quarters of football, but they've come home with 5 more and look to have Carlton's measure. Here's Whitney.
Let's talk about some positives, Robert. Firstly, for the Blues tonight.
Satanta O'Halpin, I like what I've seen of him. We see Mark Murphy there. Look, he hasn't got a lot of the ball in tonight's game, but he will improve on tonight's performance. Great experience for him.
What about the Cats as Milburn brings the ball forward?
Oh, well, we spoke about Ken Kingsley before the game, saying that he was such an important player, even though people don't rate him as highly as they should. Scarlett already back to really good form. You got Tom Harley to come into the team. I think Mooney's done a super job filling in the ruck. He's not a real ruckman, but he's done the job well for them.
Yeah, you got Ottens and King to come
Johnson's been great in the back pocket. I reckon that he's played a terrific game.
Gardner's shown some presence at half forward and just might be getting there,
and
which would be a good thing.
I like Burns' form coming onto the wing. A bit erratic with his kicking, but look, this is early days. The players will be rusty. Like, we can't expect the skills to be absolutely spot on. It will take them 5 or 6 weeks, and that's the whole idea of it, to gear up for round one. Very even team, Geelong. They really, between their best player, whoever that may be, to their 20th best player, there's not a huge gap. Far bigger gap with Carlton. Whoever their best player, you might say their best player, say Koutafidis or Nick Stevens, you go to their 20th best player and it's a huge gap.
Rook fed out the handball. Now Houlihan. Johnson has had a good night. There's Chapman.
Gary Ablett Jr., we know he's a very, very talented player, but something that is outstanding is his vision and his handball in close.
There he is, the bottom of all that.
I think what's been impressive in this too has just been his ability to do what has had to be done. When it looked as though Geelong might be threatened, he's just turned it up a notch. Here he goes again. Clever. Burns. Chapman and the Cats make the takeaway, but there's a free kick. It will come back to Ablett. The umpires might have just been having a look at it to see whether there was the chance of a clear advantage, and in the end weren't sure on it. Coulter-Otis. This is Lonigan, who kicked an outstanding goal in the third quarter. He might get another here. Oh, he knows where they are when he gets it. He's done it. And the Cats lead by 22 points. He had Jared wait for company. He beat him hands down. Cheeky peep over the shoulder and a bounce, and a driving, accurate kick for his second.
So the margin now 22 as Dennis Pagan looks on.
And Carlton need every win they can possibly get, having won just 2 of their last 16 games last year. Confidence rock bottom by the end of the year.
Mark taken by Spencer. This kick has found Tenace. Nathan Ablett back on the ground.
Yes, and I'm pleased to see Nathan Ablett back on the ground. He's had a dirty night, only had 3 touches of the footy, dropped a few marks, but Coach Thompson has decided to bring him back on and let him be there when the siren blows to enjoy the win and share the win with his teammates. That's good coaching.
Gardner. His game has impressed Tim Lane tonight. He goes short and finds Ling. And the final stages of this match here. The winner, as I said, next week, which is Geelong, will play the Kangaroos on Saturday night. You'll see that game on 10 up in far north Queensland in Cairns.
Malcolm be there?
Malcolm will be there. He turned 56 the other day. And Kent Kingsley, he's had a birthday tonight. He's had 8 straight. Kent Kingsley finish off this game with his 9th goal.
Yes.
In he comes. He's got 8. He's got 9. Kent Kingsley finishes the night with 9 goals. And the Cats have had a big 28-point win in the end. We've got to go, Robert, quickly in a few seconds. What a night for Kent Kingsley.
Yeah, fantastic night. 5 straight in the first quarter. Didn't get too many touches in the second and third, and then 4 in the final.
Big win by the Cats. Kent Kingsley finished with 9. Good night.
I seem to have found a microphone stand. I have found a microphone stand, so we have a microphone stand and a mic block.